Post your location and your local time in the comments, then settle in because he stands at the kitchen window of the lakeside cabin. Fog rolling off whispering pines like a lazy blanket, while his first cup of coffee pretends it's strong enough to cancel memories. A cute idea like duct taping a thunderstorm. He tells himself the nightmare stays quiet today. Then the door explodes inward, and coffee performs a swan dive across the floor. 10 out of 10 for Form 0 for hospitality. Brenda Caldwell, queen of the freshly printed Covenant barrels, in as if auditioning for a raid scene. 2 officers with uniforms shinier than their resumes clacking behind her, and 2 real deputies lingering on the threshold like shoppers in the wrong aisle. She points at him, declares the intruder, and narrates the decor like a conspiracy podcast. Maps, radios, rucks while he stays steady, heart-drumming but hands calm. Up in the loft, Mia, his kid sister, with a reporter's grin, has the camera rolling. She whisper laughs like a wildlife host describing a rare species, the lesser-spotted HOA hero found in herds around clipboards. Historians still argue whether goats really discovered coffee or if that's just a caffeinated legend. Either way, Cup 2 clearly needs horns. The grizzled Deputy Sergeant Mills gives a careful nod and asks for ID deed, anything that proves the cabin is his. He has it ready, utilities taxes, a folder thicker than a winter rule book, and hands it over while Brenda keeps gesturing at his gear as if pointing creates felonies. One faux cop adjusts a flashy gold watch that screams Halloween clearance. Another edges toward the hallway like someone hoping the exit will grow closer by staring at it. He mentions mild as tea that badges are funny things best checked in good light, and the room tenses like a guitar string that knows the chorus is coming. They begin the credentials once over as he casually guides the cluster away from his hidden pantry door, awkward to explain before breakfast. Quirky tidbit for your day: ancient Egyptians once tried crocodile dung sunscreen. He prefers SPF flannel. Brenda declares the place abandoned, which is a curious claim to make to a man handing over last month's water bill. When he asks politely to verify every badge and every name, even her clipboard crew, the air goes bright and crackly as if the cabin has rubbed socks on carpet and reached for the doorknob. He smiles the small smile of someone who knows where the floorboards creak and also knows the script isn't Brenda's anymore. No raised voices, no chase scene, just the quiet click of a story tightening its knots. The badge check snowballs fast. Mills calls in numbers. The rookie reads serials like a spelling bee finalist, and one of Brenda's officers suddenly finds the ceiling fascinating, which is the universal sign for my story doesn't come with receipts. She waves a document with seals and ribbons, like it's a magic trick, except the paper stock feels wrong, and the notary stamp leans like the Tower of Pisa on Casual Friday. Mills tilts it under the window light grunts, and the rookie mutters the kind of that makes printers jam out of sympathy. He stays mild because mild is his favorite lever, and suggests they put the order through the county system. Brenda counters by yanking a pocket jammer that looks like a vape with a hero complex, and the cell bars vanish like socks in a dryer. That's when the cabin hums to life. Backup mesh pings, a hardline fail-safe chirps, and the landline on the wall does its best 1998 impression. He taps speaker dials, a number he never lost, and Agent Ramirez answers with a voice that could iron a shirt. "Falcon, your alert grid's lighting up," Ramirez says, and Mills's eyebrows climb so high they need supplemental oxygen. Ramirez shifts into official cadence-protected federal property, probable imposters standby response, and Brenda blinks like someone who expected a YouTube prank and got C-SPAN. Light joke interlude. The faux cop's shiny watch tries to blend in but keeps catching sunbeams like it's auditioning for a lighthouse. Outside, a low womp-womp arrives, the chopper beating the air like the world's angriest metronome. Commander Hayes leans out the side door headset on, gives the 2-finger "we're good" sign, and grins down at him. Falcon, you magnet for drama. Hayes laughs over the rotor wash, which smells like pine needles and high school field day. Historians still argue whether Vikings wore horned helmets. Either way, Brenda's entourage definitely wears horned egos. Mills, now extremely done with prop comedy, radios dispatch. The return is brisk. 2 of Brenda's men have no records. 1 badge number belongs to a retired meter reader, and the eviction order template was pulled from a website that also sells novelty diplomas and raccoon bow ties. He can't help it. He chuckles quiet as a zipper. Quirky tidbit. In the 19th century, some folks believed cucumbers could cure freckles. He files that next to clipboards cure trespass. Brenda recovers with the speed of a stage actor who missed her cue. She pivots, claims she's doing a citizen's intervention for public safety, then slips, mentions the pantry door by name, the observation loft by function. Mills hears it turn slow. "Ma'am, how would you know that?" Her answer arrives pre-wobbled and he knows the smell. Panic mixed with cheap perfume and a whiff of someone else's plan. Ramirez's voice cuts in again. All blade no handle, Brenda Caldwell, associated with Victor Lang's post-trial network. The name drops like a wrench into a quiet bucket. His chest tightens, not with fear, with geometry lines he thought were erased, showing up under new ink. Mia, up in the loft, whispers into her mic. Oh boy, the way people whisper at bowling alleys, right before the 7-10 split. Hayes calls a perimeter. Deputies step out not away, but wider. Tree-line cameras pick up heat blooms, vehicles creeping. The service road staggered lights the color of bad decisions. His monitors paint an approaching convoy, neat as a parade. Only the confetti is going to be paperwork and consequences. He breathes once, long and easy, like loosening a knot, and tastes that coffee again. Strong, stubborn, not quite enough to rinse out the past, but perfect for the present. Remember that crocodile dung sunscreen? Yeah, this moment is SPF, oh no you don't. The convoy breaks the tree line in a staggered V headlights smeared by mist engines, low and cocky, and he feels the cabin settle around him, the way an old glove settles on a familiar hand. Click, the shutters cinch, thump. The bollards rise from the gravel like shy turtles. Hiss, the smoke nodes prime the porch in a gauzy veil that says, "Please take your theatrics to the cul-de-sac." A rifle pops from the service road, glass freckles the floor, and he flips the countermeasure bank. Thermal halos bloom on the monitors like neon lily pads, goons hopping from them in the world's worst game of Frogger. Light joke 1, if Chaos offered a loyalty program, this address would have platinum status. He toggles the loudspeaker voice, easy, Victor doors open, if you brought good manners, and the answer is a boom that slaps the kitchen, wrong door, wrong decade, wrong man. Hayes's team threads through the smoke with a grace that makes furniture apologize for existing. Mills anchors the south corner like it owes him rent. Up in the loft, Mia's stream surges to 510, then 100,000 comment hearts float up the screen like carbonated courage. Brenda wrists cinched, tries to bargain light joke 2. She offers intel the way a cat offers a gift you didn't want and can't step on. Ramirez, already composing the paperwork in his head, keeps it simple. Later. Historians still argue whether the Trojan horse was timber metaphor or very patient stagecraft. Today's answer is none of the above. It's a live stream with better lighting. Victor himself ghosts along the shore path, hood up, profile tight, the ruin of an empire tucked into his jawline. He moves like a man who believes nostalgia is armor. The entry trap tempts him, dummy racks. Fake drives a USB that might as well be labeled free cookies. Light joke 3 somewhere, a cybersecurity pro just high-fives a house plant. Victor bites. Hayes pounces, metal braces, kiss wrists, and the stream does what streams do. Screenshots fly like winter geese. Neighbors spill from porches, not panicked. curious like the block has turned into a drive-in. And the feature stars their homeowners association's least favorite hobby consequences. Old Mrs. Ellis points her cane at him and declares, "Run for HOA." He grins light joke 4 he prefers running only if coffee is the finish line. Quirky tidbit octopuses have 3 hearts. He decides the cabin is one of his. Brenda sags on the steps, fury drained a person-shaped echo. Pawn or villain, he wonders, and the answer refuses to stand still. Cucumbers never cured freckles. Horned helmets never topped Vikings. Crocodile dung sunscreen never made a comeback yet. Myths always find buyers with coupons for certainty. Ramirez hands him a thin envelope, Montana printed on the tab like a postcard that knows secrets. Mia zooms in, whispers, "Next chapter." He nods easy and quiet because the storm did what storms do, banged the windows, cleaned the sky, left the air clear enough to see himself without the old warehouse smoke. Light joke 5. He'll keep the mesh grid, though. Call it SPF. Oh yes, I will. He stands at the threshold shoes, tracing the edge where hardwood meets porch plank, and he lets the evening fold itself smaller, softer, the way a lake will tuck fog into its own pockets. Once the sun remembers to be kind, the rotor wash has drifted into memory. The sirens have threaded themselves into a distant braid, and the cabin breathes again slow as a dozing dog. The neighbors drift home in 2s and 3s, voices thinning to murmurs that hang in the pines like gently forgotten ornaments. Hayes's men slide back to the chopper with that quiet, practiced efficiency, and Mills tips his cap half salute, half goodnight, as if he's closing the cover on a book that knows how to end well. Inside the counters gleam wet where the coffee landed and dried a small brown constellation. He'll wipe away in a minute, and the mesh console settles to a single patient heartbeat, light green and unobtrusive. A porch lamp for the circuits, a reminder that vigilance doesn't have to be loud to be faithful. Mia pads down the loft ladder, bare feet, careful on the rungs, and she leans a shoulder into his camera, finally asleep in her palm, the screen a small rectangle of night. They don't speak much, they don't need to. He can smell cedar and cool lake water, can hear the smallest wavelets, laying their thin hands on the stones, can feel the cabin framing cradle and release the day like an old friend who knows when to hug and when to step back. He thinks of Brenda, not her fury, just her outline fading into the hush. And he lets the question loosen, not to be solved, only set down. The envelope sits on the table, Montana waiting without hurrying him, and he decides he will sleep first. He will let the house dim to that last kind watt. He will listen to the crickets, measure the dark with their careful metronomes, and he will breathe until all the sharpness has rounded. When he finally turns off the lamp, the glass shows only his shape, and the lake behind it untroubled, and he smiles at the quiet, not the absence of sound, but the felt certainty that this night belongs to rest, to steady shoulders, to a story that knows where it came from and where it will go next, soft as a whisper, easy as a tide.